rising cost of living is on everyone's minds these days. And it's not just record inflation for goods and services that's hitting our wallets hard. Rent just keeps going up, especially in San Diego. Managing editor for Rent.com, Brian Carberry, joins us on the 4 today with some advice for San Diego renters. Brian, thanks for joining us. How are you doing today?
I'm good, Carlo. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm doing a little better. I have some fixed housing costs at this point. For people who are looking for an apartment or who have their rent raised on them, I can't imagine how tough it is. Why is this so difficult right now?
Yeah, it's a difficult situation for a lot of people. You know, in the beginning of the pandemic, people were just having trouble paying their rent in their current units because of furloughs or job cuts or whatever that financial difficulty was during the pandemic. And now a lot of people have kind of come out of that. The economy is rebounding a little bit, and they're finding their leases running out and rent prices just skyrocketing. And it's something that we're really seeing, you know, not just in San Diego, but really all across the country. Nationally, we're seeing rent prices up 22% for a 1-bedroom apartment, 20% for a 2-bedroom apartment. It's similar in San Diego. And a lot of that really is just due to the such high demand right now all across the country for people looking for apartments. The demand is there. The supply is not there to meet up with it. So you're just seeing a lot of competition, and that's bringing those prices up.
And we're seeing it all over, and we're seeing it in staggering numbers. So, you know, other than getting up and moving and trying to find a place that's cheaper to live, what are your options, especially here in San Diego?
Yeah, you know, a lot of people, for them, moving isn't an option. You know, when you add in all the additional costs that you may have to pay with moving to a new apartment, you know, that means you're going to, one, have to compete with everyone else that's looking for an apartment. You're going to have to pay that first and last month's rent. You're going to have to pay moving fees, utility fees. There's just a lot that goes on with it. So in a lot of cases, people really do need to stay put, and they are seeing rent increases if their lease ends several $100s, possibly even more in some cases. So a lot of people are really trying to negotiate with landlords, and the landlords unfortunately have a lot of the power right now just because it is such a hot market. But what sometimes will work, and we'll say each landlord, each property manager is going to treat this differently. So, you know, it never hurts to ask. But if you try to extend your lease term rather than going for a 12-month lease, which is kind of the standard in the industry, and see if you can get a 24-month lease, lock something in for 2 years, that landlord may be willing to knock a little bit off of that rent price to keep you there a little bit longer. At the end of the day, a landlord really is just going to want someone in their unit. They don't want to have a vacancy. They want to be able to collect rent, and they want a responsible renter. So if you can prove to them that, yes, you're going to be responsible, you're going to make your payments on time, and offer to stay there that extra year, that could work in your favor. Again, this is really up to every individual landlord to figure out how they want to work with this, but definitely something to try.
Brian, we only got about 30 seconds left. Are there any great values out there? How do we find them?
You know, there's always going to be a good value. You know, these prices really are just averages. So there's going to be prices that are higher. There's going to be prices that are lower. In San Diego, for instance, for a 2-bedroom apartment, it's about $3,800, and that is very expensive. That's up about 19% from this time last year. But if you look at certain popular neighborhoods in the city, University City, Mission Valley, Little Italy, all popular neighborhoods that have average rent prices for less than that. So you really just kind of have to look around, find certain deals, do your homework. There are deals out there to be had. You just got to find them.
Shop and work for that deal. Brian Carberry with Rent.com. Thank you for some advice and some perspective on our rent in San Diego and nationally these days. Appreciate your time.